Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Anything Wrestling Podcast. Thank you once again for tuning in. We are back here today. We got the whole band back together. It is another triple threat going. It is the Sean to Dan the Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Commish. And my God, do I have some strong sentiments today.
Don't we all?
And I am your advocate of this podcast. And we are sponsored by...
You can catch all your favorite WWE programming only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
$9.99?
It's not $10.
It's not $1,000.
Not $1,000,000,000.
But $9.99.
Also, today's episode brought to you by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with E.
And by Coca-Cola. Have a Coke and a smile.
That was good. We are here to review tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh no. No, that's just you want. I told you I have feelings about this, and that's how it made me feel. Do you want us to say it the regular way? Do it again then.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh
my.
yeah! Damn it!
Again?
Yeah, we are here to review TLC 2018. You guys are both fired tomorrow.
I didn't know we were paid.
We're backlogged on our checks apparently.
Apparently.
Free subscriptions to the WWE Network will be canceled for both of you.
I'm paying every month for mine. Are you getting a free subscription?
Never mind.
Apparently.
Wow.
Why was I told of this?
So
I mean, it only plays in the background.
So it's very apparent we're not on the same page.
He had to squeeze that in one more time.
Match breakdown guy, let's go.
We'll start with, I can't break down the preliminaries, but I'll mention the first one. Buddy Murphy defending his WWE Cruiserweight Championship against Cedric Alexander. I didn't catch this. How you guys got to break it down for me.
I thought that this was personally a really good match. Both Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander can go, and we've seen that before. Again, it's a shame that these two have been subjected to the pre-show when they can obviously deliver a match, and sometimes they've been the only match to deliver on the entire card. So, great match. Loved every single second of it.
Very good. Both performers very solid. We've seen them a couple of times now, and they deliver. So I think that's about all you really need to focus on with this match. Moving on next to the second one, it was Elias versus Bobby Lashley with Leo Rush.
Lashley.
In a ladder match or a guitar on a hook match, however you want to look at it. Elias goes over, first one to get the guitar from the hangy thing.
It looks like a clothes hanger nowadays, right?
Yeah, it's like a thing. Yeah.
Again, I missed this. The match was 6 minutes long. I'm assuming it was just to finish off the prelim show.
Pretty much. All right, so let's jump right into the show.
Now, this going for the Mixed Match Challenge Finals match. We have the Fabulous Truth team of Carmella and R-Truth versus Mahalicia's Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal competing not only for the championship, a paid vacation to anywhere in the world, and the 30th entry of their respective Royal Rumble match for next year's Royal Rumble.
No, I'm good. I'm just going to jump in real quick because obviously we had talked about this before. I'd made predictions. Didn't pan out quite the same way, especially
you
once...
almost had it, though.
I had an idea as to where they might have been going, but once Finn was taken out of... once Finn was thrown into the feud with Drew and taken out of the Mixed Match Challenge, obviously my pick changed, and I figured Fabulous Truth was going to walk away with the win. I've read some stuff online suggesting Truth's probably going to wander out for the Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay. I feel like
that's probably going to happen. Carmella's music will hit. They'll both come out, or she'll come out, and then his music's gonna hit just like in the mixed match challenge, and then they're gonna have an issue at the top of the ramp. I think it'll be funnier if the men's Royal Rumble. Well, no. If we get to the men's Royal Rumble and he just doesn't come out at that point, that would be pretty funny.
So just 29 participants instead of a traditional 30?
Yep.
Well, that would make sense in an R-Truth kind of way. But it's not that we're gimmicking the women's Royal Rumble at that point. It's R-Truth.
Yeah.
Where do you go with him nowadays? I thought it was a decent match. Normal, traditional mixed match challenge shenanigans like usual.
Yep.
I mean, getting in touch with the audience, the whole vocalization between them. That's just mixed match matches.
Yeah.
This is where my grading system starts, just like traditional A, B, C, D, F.
Yeah.
Obviously 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I gave this a C, just because it's a mixed match.
Yeah, it wasn't anything spectacular. No offense to anybody in the match, but none of these four are amazing competitors.
They're mid-carders. Well,
Yeah.
Carmella brought herself down to the mid-card level. She's kind of trying to bring herself back into main event status in the women's roster, but
It's gonna take a minute. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carmella locks in the Code of Silence in sort of an awkward exchange with Alicia Fox.
I kind of like that
The-
submission move, though.
Well, the submission move's fine.
Yeah.
I like the move. The transition into it from
Yeah.
the pin
It
And
just
the
felt
immediate
weird.
tap out.
yeah, was awkward. But no, all in all, not bad. Not my favorite of the mixed match challenge matches this year, but it'll work.
Yeah, there was a lot of swip swapping going on for this year's mixed match challenge, so I think they probably had something penciled in and they had to change it 5 times over because people either got injured or got involved in a storyline. So I think they had their back against the wall and they're like, okay, well, Fabulous Truth will win, I guess.
Moving forward, we have the tag team match that we finally deserve. It's literally in my notes. The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Usos, Jay and Jimmy, versus the New Days, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Not bringing in Big E for this. Kind of
Surprisingly.
a very odd surprise.
And thank God it was not on the pre-show.
Well, like we had discussed, they finally deserve to be on the main show. They can put on a show. I think the reason they were put on is because if we were going to get the mixed match challenge first, there needs to be an elevation to keep the show going.
Yeah.
And this was the best way to do it with these
Right.
6 individuals. Well, 7 if you include Big E.
Now, this one I am predominantly going to sit out because I was breezing through the card to get to the matches that I knew wouldn't take a while. And this one I probably could have shoehorned in because it was only 12 minutes. I went back to watch the actual last couple seconds, so I saw how the match actually ends. But if you guys have more thoughts, go ahead.
That's on you. I said what I wanted to say. The match that we deserve to see finally.
I'm just glad that it wasn't on the pre-show. Like, that's always kind of been my thing with the Usos, the New Day, and
Yeah.
the Bar. It's like, stop putting these guys and stop subjecting them to a pre-show because they're much more than that.
Yeah.
Well, my only thing is that I wanted to see a title change, even though it didn't happen. You wanted to see it just to see if you can split up your favorite tag team and give Cesaro his Royal Rumble push, but
Long overdue push.
Well, I mean, again, like usual, we're recording before the actual SmackDown tapings, so who knows? Anything could happen tonight. But I don't know if we actually said it. Sheamus wins with a brogue kick to Xavier Woods.
I gave this match a B.
Anything with these guys is an A for me because they always deliver.
You got
Next up, we've got the long anticipated Braun Strowman versus
Come get these
Baron
hands.
Corbin tables,
Ugh.
ladders, and chairs match.
Oh my!
16 minutes.
I don't know about that.
I think they're
10 minutes for intros?
Well, I think they're counting from the second that Baron had Heath start the count.
Right, okay, that makes sense. Wow, it was 16 minutes?
It's mostly just gimmick.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Let me just state that during this whole match, I was only thinking of when the
Match.
commish sees this match, he's gonna be so happy.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
So anyway, you have Baron Corbin. He comes out to the ring. He
Thinking he's already won.
tells Heath Slater, "Count that son of a bitch out."
By 7, he comes out.
Yeah. So you hear, "Rah!" and Braun comes out. He's got his arm in a sling, and he breaks the news to Baron. He's like, "Hey, you know we're in a no DQ match. You about to get DQ'd the fuck up." And that made no sense, but you get it.
Just go with it.
And so you see who was
Crews
first? Apollo
first
Crews,
come
Chad.
Rude and Gable, Finn, and then Heath Slater
Heath
takes his
joins in.
shirt off. Baron Corbin tries to escape after he gets hit with chairs a little bit, and then he tries to escape.
Here's my take on that. Seeing as here we're in the what era is this right now? It's not the PG anymore.
The reality era?
These are kind of PG shots with these chairs.
Well, we talked about Stevie Richards
I
last
know,
time.
but like my thing is, it's just like with these chair shots, it just seemed like. I know we can't get too violent with it, but it doesn't seem like we're getting anywhere with it. We're just torturing the guy, but it's not like we're beating the fuck out of him.
Well, I almost feel like
sense.
that might have been part of the point. Is you got first of all your faces. You don't want to make them look like a bunch of dicks. Plus, he needed to be coherent enough to slide out of the ring and get brought back by Curtis Angle.
Oh, I totally forgot about Angle.
I
Holy
did
shit.
for a second too, yeah.
Angle comes out at the top of the ramp, forces Baron back
With the 5 o'clock shadow.
with the 5 o'clock shadow,
That Renee just had to point out, by the way.
and Kurt looking tired. Forces.
Is that just me? He looks
Did
like
he?
he's exhausted.
Well, guys, you know of his issues from the last couple of years, so that's going to do a number on you.
Anywho, so we get Baron back in the ring. He gets beat up a little bit more. Finishing moves. I think there's at least another chair shot, but I don't remember. He's on the mat. Heath says, oh, let me put my shirt back on.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Braun, with the very enthusiastic foot on the chest, picks up the win.
Great
So
call, like.
here's my thing before we move on. It seems like Braun's been given a lot of gimme matches just to be put on the main event. Like the whole Kevin Owens match this past summer, this match now, it's like, we get it. We're trying to get you to that belt, but we kind of have to like force you into it. We can't genuinely guide you to it like every other athlete has. So
But the problem is every time you get him to the belt, you wind up doing something different.
just screw him over. So I gave this a C. As fun as I enjoyed seeing Baron getting his ass kicked and beat to death almost.
Really?
It's a C.
It's a B for me.
Moving on. Psychological game. in this women's match.
Everybody's favorite match.
Natalia versus the soon to hopefully be Raw Women's Champion, I'm going to call it, before the end of this year, Ruby Riott.
If not, we'll riot.
Ruby Riott, along with the
Well-
Riot Squad.
Well, before the end of 2018 or before the end of 2019?
Well, I'm going to make my prediction for 2019 that she becomes a champion. Kind of like my New Year's, like, WWE resolution, at least.
So here's the thing with me. Going back to the Evolution pay-per-view, Natalia started really growing on me. And her performance at TLC and with her performance last night on Raw in the Gauntlet match, she is really growing on me. Not that she couldn't wrestle before, she could, but I just feel like she was not giving the opportunity to.
Yeah, and she had sort of a bleh character.
Yeah.
Well, where were you going with her at one point? What were they doing with her?
Dominatrix?
They didn't really pan out, obviously.
Nothing with Natalia has panned out.
Up until this.
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like with this, it's like, okay, you're getting that developmental of character finally out of her. You found a direction to go with her, and with the Riot Squad, everything's still going great with those three because they know what they're doing. It seems like as a team, collectively, they kind of work on their own stuff.
And they're best friends apparently, so that's gonna help a lot.
Well, what, 3 matching tattoos? They have?
Yeah.
Well, at least one, each one having it, so 3. I thought this match kind of deserved a little more time.
Really?
Just to play out the psychological games. The 9 Heart Riot table was stupid to me. I even texted you about it. Like, really? This is what's happening?
Yeah.
And the fact that you're telling me, wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Yep. He sent me a text commenting on the Jim the Anvil table, and I said, you just wait.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
And then when I see Natty pulling out that table, I'm like, God, what the fuck is this?
Well, I thought it's like if you have a crap idea, you might as well do something kind of good to counteract the crap idea.
Steer into the skid.
Yes.
Well, that's what I mean with the whole, like, the psychology of it. Like, the mind games are working in this story.
Yeah.
Which, with that senseless shit, I call it senseless shit, it worked. Here's my only gripe. And I texted this to him in bold. I think it was you or both. There's no crying in a tables match.
Yeah, I got that one. I got that text.
Who fell through the table and started crying? Sarah or Liv?
Probably Liv.
I think she was hurt.
Yeah, but it's like, you're not in the match. You took the bump for her. Come on. At least Sarah took it like a champ being slammed into a table.
Yeah. Sarah kind of sandbagged Natty there a little bit too on
She
that,
was trying to,
body slam, yeah.
And I think Natty had to save her, like, all right, I got to really grab you from the neck because you're about to fuck this up if you don't follow along.
You're going through a table, bitch.
Get some wood.
So yeah, 12 minute 40-second match. It's all right.
I give it a B.
It ends with Natty powerbombing Ruby through the Ruby table, ripping her legs off.
I gave it a B.
Great psychology, great match, nice, kind of like a divide and conquer type of deal where she gets rid of Liv, then she gets rid of Sarah. Okay, now we got a one-on-one match. I would do away with the jacket though. That was so abrupt to me. Let me pull out the jacket and wear it for the rest of the match.
I planned out this entire thing. I got a table, I got my coat, I got the sunglasses in the coat. We got this.
Why was the coat under the ring, though?
That's the thing.
But why put it on mid-match?
Why put it on at all?
Well, put it on at the end of
You
the
could
match.
do it as a celebration. Be like, this one was for you, Dad. But
Yeah, that would be fine. But no.
yeah, it is what it is.
You got the next one.
Next one, we go to Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre in a 12-minute, 20-second match. Good. It was a good match. I like both these guys. They're athletic, talented, and match ends, if I recall correctly. Dolph sneaks in, super kicks Drew, which allows Finn to pick up the win.
Yes.
I mean, for what, a 12-minute, 20-second match, they gave you a good show. They're still developing Drew as to being like that aggressive, dominant heel that he's been so far. I liked it.
I like that he's a dominator, but they've still established him to have vulnerability.
Yeah.
Where he's still susceptible to being duped through a double team, but he'll still beat the shit out of you.
It's not going to last long,
No.
basically.
How do you feel?
I thought it was a pretty okay match. Nothing that really, stood out to me or popped out. Anything with Finn, Drew, and Dolph is great. And it looks like now we're going in a triple threat direction with these three, which would be a great WrestleMania match, by the way.
I can give this a solid A. Just because, again, like, two great competitors. You're developing a story with Dolph not leaving him out to dry to be like, all right, I have to go back to mid-card performance or find a way to jump back to main event.
Yeah. This is how I would have wanted this match to end, because I felt like if Finn had lost, not because losing to Drew is bad necessarily, but I felt like if Finn had lost, that would have been essentially burying him and pushing
Another
him back
nail
down
in
the
the
card.
coffin. Yeah.
But you give Finn, even with a little interference from Dolph, you give Finn the win over this big, tall, monsterish guy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a rub.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with this.
Let's move forward to what did I call this? A realistically disappointing match between these two. You have Rey Mysterio, Mr. 619, Mr. Santiago.
The 619.
I think it means whale's vagina.
What was move number 619 on the list?
Literally the 619. Followed up by move number 620.
What was that?
The Arm Boris versus a rather psychotic, demonic, evil
Mr. 314.
Randy Orton in a chairs match. Okay, let's be real. I expected a lot more. If I can be serious for a minute, I really did expect a lot more out of these two because they come from two of the greatest eras that we've had in this sport with the Ruthless Aggression and PG era, and they give you a very lackluster chairs match. I thought Randy was gonna go full blown psycho
Yeah.
in this match and like do what he said he's been out to do. Take out all the heroes of SmackDown, take out all of the faces that don't belong.
In a very sick and sadistic way.
But it just seemed like, oh, I'm just gonna be violent. I'm not gonna take it to an extreme.
Yeah.
But I'll still be like as dominating as I can be against someone who I know I can clearly beat the fuck out of.
Yeah.
Maybe he was concerned about looking like he was assaulting a child.
Yeah, but
I like Rey Mysterio. Don't get me wrong.
he is the height of a child.
He is the height of a child. Two solid competitors in a mediocre match. Could have been better. Could have been worse.
Could have been longer.
Abrupt end, too.
Yeah.
Looks kind of weak and...
Go for that chair RKO into a counter, into sitting on the chair, into a Hurricane Rana.
Randy getting his
Thing.
legs up so Ray can pin him and then attempting to kick out.
I gave it a D. A D.
For damn.
Well, all be damn.
Yeah. Do I get to announce this one?
Do you want to announce this one?
He doesn't want to announce this one.
I want to announce it just because of what I wrote.
Oh, yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
For the record, the very last part was kind of my addition, but
So it's Murbaruk, aka a mouse rat, a raccoon, a bluebird, a red wing kabuki, aka kooky kabuki, woodland critter, delusional, punk ass, wackest bitch on the planet, aka
don't.
Ronda Rousey. Versus, I am not a face breaker. I should punch myself in the face.
Please do.
AKA, why the fuck is Tamina even at ringside? Nia Jax. For the Raw Women's Championship. Going
So-
for 10 minutes and 50 seconds.
So, moving on to the next match, Dan.
Oh, I have notes.
On this one or the
On
WWE
this one.
Championship match? So I hate Nia. We've all talked about this. I don't care about her anymore. The nail in the coffin for me was
this
punching
match?
Becky in the face. No, I tapped I
you tapped.
I didn't like her anyway. Like I was like, I don't really care about you as a character, as a performer. Meh, you're mediocre, and you don't really bring anything to the table.
You come from a family that's supposed to be prestigious, and you're supposed to honor that family. You're not even doing
Yeah,
For the
and,
Raw.
and then she just cold cocks Becky in the face and ruins Survivor Series.
Bigger picture,
No,
guys.
there was no bigger picture at the
There's
time.
always
There
been-
was
At
no
the
bigger
time.
picture at the time.
There wasn't, but this is one of those opportunities where you
And
take
we'll-
it and you
This
run.
is a
But we'll
this-
get to that.
This is a happy accident. What we've got planned now, but at the time it was like, you dumb bitch.
So you think it was full on intentional?
Yeah. They're trained to punch.
I don't see how that one, the way that it hit, could have not been.
You don't think they're
intentional.
trained to punch correctly? I think they are.
No, I think they know how to throw punches, and the amount of impact on that punch just that was her trying to get back at Becky for something.
Because I think Becky hit her twice when she was turned around.
Don't matter though.
Yeah,
Okay.
shove her. Don't punch her in the face like a bitch.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
So-
Don't ruin the main event. And okay, look, this is one of my notes. Straight to the point. The talking in the match, that's just annoying as fuck. Because
Where was talking?
like right when the bell rang, like the whole thing about the fist, the whole thing about Ronda, like.
Especially because
I'm sorry, half the time I was tuned out.
But that's my point, though. As much as you tune her out,
well, here's
for
the
note wise, you do have to pay attention to the match. Unfortunately, she gets annoying when she talks. She's like, "Oh, who wants a souvenir?" Or, "Oh, yeah, I'm the baddest bitch." Like, I don't give a flying fuck if you're a flying squirrel.
I would rather Ronda treat this like an MMA fight. I would rather she go in there and she keep her mouth shut, because she didn't do trash talk during these MMA fights. She was focused. The fact that she's doing it here almost says, "Oh, I already know what's going on. I don't need to stay focused."
Like, that's bullshit to me. Like, you're supposed to sell it that you don't know the outcome. You're supposed to sell us on what the fuck you're doing if this is your fucking dream.
Well, let me throw this in there. So I said it from the get-go that no one really wants to see this match. However, this was kind of booked into a corner because Nia won that Evolution Battle Royal where she gets a title shot.
Yeah.
So everything after that has been skewed because of Becky's injury, Charlotte stepping in. So there's been, much like Mixed Match Challenge, there's been changes that, have occurred.
But these changes have happened under circumstance and reasoning, but not reasoning for the good and not circumstances for the greater picture. They've just been askewed to it's like, all right, we just got to get this shit over with. Because that's what it is. That's what this whole match was. Because this is my other note. I think Nia could have dominated this match, but again, her cockiness got the better of her like it always does, which annoys the fuck out of him, which makes him not give a shit in this match as well. This is the other note I wrote. Slowly hoping that the heel turn is really in there for Ronda. Because even during the match, I'm like, okay, you're coming off still cocky, but it's now turning into like, all right, you're trying to be an asshole, like a heel. So I can kind of see where it plays into the later. And this was my last one before my final grade. Tamina's supposed to be there as a distraction, right? Go do your fucking job and interfere.
Yeah. She was just there.
It's like, just like her career in WWE. She's just there.
She's too busy working on her face muscles to not have any facial expression.
Resting bitch face can be done a lot better. Can't even do that right.
Ronda. Okay, so here's what I'll say. Ronda's performance in the match overall, not bad.
You're tuned out, so you don't give a shit.
Nia, I don't remember anything about Nia's performance because I gave zero fucks. Ronda goes over with the pseudo armbar.
The maneuver.
Yes, to her it's called the maneuver.
The maneuver. It's because it's not actually an armbar.
She doesn't deserve to have it called the armbar.
Okay, I'm just gonna grade it. I gave it an F.
Moving on.
An F.
Yeah, that works for me. Moving on to the Sorry, this is you.
No, I took the last
that's
one
right.
just because
So
of the long ass nickname.
WWE Championship match. The new Daniel Bryan.
Hell yeah.
Goes over AJ Styles in a 23-minute, 55-second match. Go ahead.
Match of the night. It's rivaled with, and I'll tell you why with the other one, but I think this is match of the night just because you're invested. They're wrestling, they're competing, and they're giving you a show, just like AJ usually does. But this new thing with Daniel Bryan is a lot better. I like it. I love this match overall.
As I was watching the match, this is one of those matches where you need to have some patience because we're so used to fast-paced flying off of the rope and weapons and whatnot. This is one of those matches where these two are slowly telling you a story, especially through psychology, but as the match goes on, so does the build, and it builds and it builds, and they're working body parts. They're telling you an actual story.
Yeah.
And the fact that Bryan wins fair without any shenanigans, I'm like,
Shenanigans.
And that's my thing. As a heel, you would expect there to be shenanigans, but it seems like Daniel's giving you an actual match where, like, hey, I'm going to be the enemy, but I'm still going to win like an actual face.
he's backing up his words.
Yeah, I, those are some of my favorite heels. Is the ones who don't default to the
Their heel ways.
shady heel ways. And I know that that's how we got him to this point in the first place with the ball kick. But
The Shinsuke kick?
I'm glad that he's not Shinsukeing his way around this.
Which
this
is a good
feud.
thing. Because
So-
honestly, I think... What?
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
This one deserved an A.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
But speaking of that,
Oh my god, I can't believe this one. We have Dean Ambrose versus Sako Rollins-John, aka Seth fucking Rollins, for the WWE Intercontinental Champion. And I will start with this very first note, and I'm sad to say it. This is boring. I never thought I would hear that out of the crowd.
In 2018.
And this match was slated for how long
at
was
least
it?
23 even.
How do you get this out of these two?
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. You two, when in our group chat, you guys were saying how Renee and Corey were going back and forth. I was so distracted by... So first,
I was more zoned in on them to be like, is this a legitimate argument?
That's what I
going
thought
on?
too. That's the whole time. But then because of that, it's tuning me out. Like it.
Because at first I'm like, here we go, Seth and Dean.
Why are they bickering?
No, he's not. He
Oh.
tuned out their audio, and he's just.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, that's how he felt.
What just happened?
Wait, dirty deeds. Where's the violence?
What just happened?
Where's
Where's the match of the century?
Yeah.
And I think I kind of told him this before you got here. Are they just tired of working with each other?
I doubt it.
It could be.
Well, how many times have they fought for this belt?
Well, recently they haven't.
Yeah,
Like this
but
is the first. This is the
within
first
their
match
career, within their
between the
6
two of them.
years.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can work with your friends, but
Like this,
you can only work with your friends for so long before you're finally like, I want to work with somebody else. I want to tell a different story. I feel like we've driven our story into the ground.
No, I get that, which is understandable. But it's like the story was so great in the beginning because it's like something we wanted to see
Yeah.
since the summer when he came back. Like, okay, he's gonna turn on Seth. We're finally gonna get the rivalry that we want. It's gonna happen.
Face Seth versus heel Dean.
And it didn't happen because SummerSlam had to be about him, whatever. Oh, we're playing the real life card now with Joe, aka Roman Reigns, getting his leukemia back. Now we're planning the seed final. Now we're seeing it grow into I turn on Seth, I play the mind games, I dissolve the Shield, but it's lackluster as fuck. Because the match itself, like I told you, are they legitimately fucking fighting, or is this like a script? Is this something?
Yeah, because Renee sounded
Pissed.
She sounded so annoyed. Did you?
So-
did you go back and listen to them?
I didn't. What happened? Again, I was so distracted.
Corey was being a little instigative shit, like he
out,
usually is.
out of the gate, Corey is he's digging into Renee. He's like, was it annoying? What did he do when he was home? Was he boring to be around? Was he annoying to be around?
He's kind of like, huh?
And Renee
Huh?
started to sound pissed, and I couldn't determine if it was like something they were doing intentionally for the show, or if he was going rogue and like poking the bear.
Yeah.
And she's like, knock it the fuck off, because at one point she goes, Corey, just call the match. And Michael Cole goes, yeah, come on.
Like Michael, because I was telling you, and I told him this. I thought like Vince was probably in Michael's ear only, like, hey, get them to shut the fuck up and be professional. Because I'm pretty sure someone in the back was like, are they serious? Is this really happening out there right now?
Yeah.
And I think this is what kind of stirred the whole thing of adding on fuel to the fire. Like, okay, Vince really has to come back and do whatever the fuck he's gonna do. Because honestly, during that match, them talking like that, I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up.
Now, honestly, here's the thing: I'm gonna put the blame on Corey exclusively because I think from what I've gathered, Renee is a professional when it comes to doing her job, and so I think her irritation is from the fact that he's making it a personal thing now. So he's poking into these personal things. Oh, he's your husband. You should know his personality. La da da da.
Even Michael said, like, let's leave the whole "that's your husband" bullshit out.
And so I think that she was getting annoyed because she's like, let's just fucking call the match. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? So,
Dan,
why won't you leave Renee alone?
No, he's right. Like, I honestly, like, I get it. You're supposed to have your heel commentator like you've always had in the past with, like, you know, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jesse the Body Ventura, Jerry the King Lawler, Paul Heyman himself. My God, he was so great. With Corey, it just seems like, okay, I'm the heel commentator, but I'm also kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe it's an envious thing that his job is regulated only to commentary. Like, I feel like he wants to be involved somehow even more, but it's like, you don't have the talent.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing we could really do for you. No, this is me being honest. Like, can you picture Corey doing more than commentary right now?
well, it all depends because his career was cut short.
Exactly my point. If it wasn't, do you think he would have?
I think he could have been a someone or a something.
I think he could. He might have been able to replace CM Punk. Like
Possibly.
like aesthetically, if he hadn't gotten injured, because he was growing on me right before he got hurt.
Yeah, but it's like because of that, it sounds like bitterness.
And there might be some resentment in there.
But to really cut into her, like like you said it, you've given her respect and props for what she did for NXT, but you don't like her right now on Raw. I still think.
Come on! Shut up!
I think there's still room to develop her for the bigger show because at one point even Michael Cole's going to be just like JR, like, hey, I've been here so long, you know, I can do more than commentary. And Michael Cole's done a lot for the WWE. At one point, someone has to take his throne as well. And it's like, okay, we can't trust Corey because he's being a legitimate asshole right now.
I wouldn't mind a female being that long time tenured commentator.
Which is fine.
But for the love of God,
she can do it. She has the
she
ability.
can, but just either don't get in her ear
or don't do it, Corey.
But I know, and so I normally like Corey. I think he was the instigator here. I think it's his fault because I think Renee can normally carry herself more professionally than that.
I gave this match a D.
So Corey, get your shit together.
well, I mean, okay, we talked about the commentary, but the match.
Okay, like I said, the match was very lackluster. The match itself, it just seems like they weren't as invested. I thought Seth would attack, or Seth would be one of his stupid little bodyguards like he was last night on Raw.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere, sneak attack. I'm in your head now.
Yeah.
But again, Dean's whole, you're going to lose control, you're going to lose everything, shit came true. But it seemed
You're going to lose control, Seth.
Oh, Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Bane, why?
It's gone.
But yeah, I gave it a D.
For Dean
Yeah.
Ambrose?
A D for damn, this could have been better.
So let's move on to the most anticipated match of the night, for real this time.
Go ahead, Dan.
Triple threat, tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Oh
Oh
my.
my.
For the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. You saw the man Becky Lynch versus the Charlotte Flair versus the Empress of Tomorrow
Or today.
Asuka.
Asuka.
21 minutes 45 seconds.
Kamish.
Kamish is having a fit
Kamish.
over here. I'm sure we'll hear more about that in a second.
Settle down, my son.
Asuka.
I'm not your son, I'm older.
Asuka
You
walks
will not
away.
disrespect your elders.
Oh, I already have.
Oh, Asuka walks away with the win after some interference
Thanks
from.
to-
Worst ending ever by. And I'm going to say it again, and I don't care if you get annoyed. The mouse, rat, raccoon, bluebird, red wing, kabuki, kooky, kabuki, woodland, critter, delusional, punk ass, wackest bitch on the planet.
Becky's got a good ass.
Match of the night.
Sorry, Dan.
This is a good competitor with match of the night.
More violence than the 10 other matches.
This is what I said. The most innovative violence of the women's division still continues with this match because you got it at Evolution between Charlotte and Becky alone.
you got
a Survivor Series with Charlotte and and now you. Oh my God! You're getting it with these three, and Asuka is literally breaking that kendo stick.
This is a good time for me to mention this match reminded me of Roman versus Brock at WrestleMania 31, where two or in this case 3 women are just beating the shit out of each other. It's like we're cool, we're fine, but I'm kicking your ass out there, and I'm not pulling any punches.
Here's my thing. Who called Asuka winning? Like, if we can remember.
Well, I said it would be great if she wins, if Becky loses indirectly, and then you build. I'll get to it, but go ahead, Dan.
Like,
No,
what did you call?
I hadn't wanted Becky to lose the title, but when the idea of Asuka had been presented and what would follow, I was like, okay, so I'm okay with that.
Why was nothing breaking in this match?
Which we can talk more about. We can talk more about closer to the end of this match, but
I think I called Becky winning it.
Mm-hmm.
I said Asuka is willing to earn the belt because she's paid her dues for this whole fucking year. Match-wise, I loved every single minute of it. I loved the fact that they were going at each other as angry and bitchy as they could be overall. And they sold the show.
this is the best tables, ladders, chairs, barricades, kendo stick match I've ever seen in my life.
Rhetorical question. I
There
guess
we
what
go.
I'm doing is I'm taking a survey.
Hey, yo.
Do you guys feel like the women have officially outperformed and outdone and are now the focal attention of the show rather than the guys?
Not all of them. This crop, yes.
Well, when the lights are on bright and when it matters. Because I will go on record to say, as of recent, when the lights are on bright, these women overall can do it. Mae Young Classic, Evolution pay-per-view. When we walked out of Survivor Series, what was everyone talking about? That. And TLC, what is everyone talking about?
Here's my thing. It's a yes and a no. Yes, because we're finally getting it. Not to say that women haven't deserved this for a long time, because they have.
Yeah.
No, because we're still getting like the main focal point of this barely in like September with the Mae Young Classic. Like, yeah, you had spots in WrestleMania and at SummerSlam, barely, but it barely like turned the knob or the knob a little bit. But it seemed like as of September, when the Mae Young Classic started this year, to right now in December, we're like, fuck it. We're going to go all in now on the women's division. Not all in like ROH.
Which you will
Network.
not be able to catch on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99. Dan? Is it a yes? Is it a no? Is it a maybe?
I told you via text message that it's been a minute since I gave a shit, like genuinely, about a men's feud.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the women specifically with Becky and company, have garnered my interest consistently.
Garnered your interest enough for you to buy her beanie.
I am wearing my Becky Lynch ugly Christmas sweater beanie right now.
It's not ugly.
It's pretty.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It's pretty.
but-
Unlike Lana's career.
Anyway, so I always kind of liked Becky. The character was a little stale. because it was just sort of like I'm the plucky underdog kind of character.
I'm the go-getter. I'm the one that's got it going.
I'm the last kicker. And
that's it. That's all you get with her. But ever since SummerSlam,
yeah,
she got robbed. It's like, why? What? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, I'm
Damn.
tired of this.
I don't know which one you want me to do.
I don't know. He said a Y, and I remembered you.
That's apparently my gimmick now.
I would have said,
Why
aren't
did
you
it
getting
take so long for them to push Becky Lynch?
Oh, that one works. Why did it take so long for WWE to push Becky Lynch? No, but I think we talked about it with Marine 6. I think she found a new life in a character with Maddie, which carried over a little bit to WWE. If you haven't seen Marine 6, it's all right. Check it out. Becky's wonderful.
Sean is even better.
Sean's pretty funny. And no, I think that they have a new life that's really making them more interesting than they've been in a long time. So I think right now, yes, the women have stolen the spotlight. We'll see if the men have the capability to try and take it back, but
They will, but it's gonna be a while.
that's what I said to him. I said it's gonna be weeks before I care about any men's story.
Well, I mean, Seth and Dean was supposed to be a talking point for TLC, and
no one's talking about it. No one's giving a shit.
well, everyone's talking about it, but for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
y'all coming out here with that garbage ass match.
Here's my thing. You're finally bringing Asuka back into main event status, which she deserved. You're getting rid of that gimmick of the whole, I'm gonna hang out with Naomi.
I
Be the glow rave dancing queen now. Yay! No, fuck that. Let's get the Empress of Tomorrow back.
I think Corey and Michael brought it where they said some fans have gone on record to say that the Empress is back. The Asuka of old is back.
which is fine. Whatever Charlotte's direction is, I like it. It's no more of the whole, I'm in my dad's shadow, I'm just like daddy. No, I'm turning violent and psychotic even more than daddy.
Good.
And then we get the worst fucking ending.
Okay.
I can't scream. I can't scream in here. I can't. Not today.
Contain yourself, my son.
God, stop calling me that. I fucking hated.
Hold on. Easy. Just if you could stay calm for a minute.
No.
So my. Okay. 10 seconds, let it out.
You gotta introduce the segment.
The commish gets real for 10 seconds.
This fucking bitch ruined the event of the night again. My God, I hate you.
Okay.
I'm good.
Now that we got that out of the way. So, when I was watching this match live, literally when I saw the crowd look over and someone's coming down the ramp, I'm like, what's going on? Who's coming in?
I thought it was a SmackDown.
It's gonna be Nia.
I
She got
know.
punched in the face.
Or I thought it was going to be a SmackDown participant. I thought it was going to be one of the girls. Like, you know what? Why am I not getting attention?
I'm gonna stake my claim. Carmella comes out in the Empress of Tomorrow outfit, and
You know what would be funny? If Becky and Charlotte are on the top of the ladder, Carmella comes out, dance break, does the floss and goes, alright, I'm good, we're out.
she just walks away.
Okay,
Our
but
truth pushes the
If we can be serious for a minute, again, my legit reaction when Ronda came out, I'm like, you bitch, stop. And I'm like,
No.
And I'm like, no.
This makes
Let it
sense.
play out.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I've said it before. Now, as you were saying earlier, we get the seeds planted of Ronda. This is now
His
almost
story
a
of what
semi
he's
heel
wanted to be
turn.
written.
Yeah.
Oh, you get ready, because I'm gonna commandeer this here in a second.
So Asuka wins, and like I said, you can build towards Charlotte and Asuka Part 2 for WrestleMania, while simultaneously having Becky go into the Rumble and saying, okay, now that I've won, I want my revenge on that little bitch. It is me and Ronda at WrestleMania for the Women's Championship. You get that perfect build where you push these two storylines. Now, for Charlotte, I think there might be some retribution waiting in the works, because Ronda even referred to it, we have unfinished business. So I think...
Payback's a bitch.
Well, she's a bitch too.
Wow.
So I say Charlotte and Ronda, maybe not for the championship, but as like a grudge match of like, okay, let's settle it. It started at Survivor Series, we're settling it now. You have that go on, and the same night Becky wins the Rumble and goes, now that I've won, it's me and Ronda at WrestleMania. And then Asuka, and then Charlotte goes back to, okay, well, the Ronda thing didn't work out. Going back to Asuka to have my rematch.
You have Asuka versus Charlotte too.
But Asuka goes over this time,
like
establishes
Chibuya.
that the Asuka of old is back, and then you build on that from here on in.
Now here's my thought.
Ladies and
Here we
gentlemen, Dan the Man.
So, Shant and I were talking, and you're about to get my token reference. When they announced the shakeup with the McMahon family coming, we're gonna shake Raw up. I was telling Shant, hey, what if they do a draft? What
Right
if
then
they
and
what if
there?
they do it? What if they do some shakeups?
You know where he's
They do a
going with
superstar
this, right?
shakeup, and it was tied into what he was suggesting. So. Charlotte gets drafted over to Raw to get her grudge match, like he said, with Ronda. You have Becky.
we go.
She goes. She wins the Royal Rumble. She challenges Ronda and wins. And you know what that would do? You know who all would end up on Raw at that point?
I don't know,
The
people?
four horsewomen
Yeah.
of WWE
It
with
is.
Ronda. Perfect time to bring up Shayna and Jessamine.
Bendu,
And Sharif,
Mary Schaefer.
Who
Is it
cares?
what are their names? Marina, Sharif, and
Sure.
Jessamine Duke.
Jessamine Duke.
And then you got the four horsewomen versus the four horsewomen at SummerSlam Survivor Series. Survivor Series. That's my take, though.
Huh? Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Have them fight at both. Fuck it.
How did I know this?
But no,
I'm not opposed to it. I am not opposed to it. I have always said that's what I want to see happen because it seems like this is where it's going. And that bitch just had to just do what she did on Sunday.
But yeah, if that were
Bigger
something
picture.
were something that was going to
fucking
happen,
get it.
it would miss weight to the women's divisions, and you'd have to shift like half the women from Raw over to SmackDown.
So you got to leave the scraps on SmackDown at one point.
Basically, send Nia over there.
Why don't we just send her to NXT?
That works too. Send her down there.
What were you gonna say?
What
Send that what?
woman?
No, don't be modest
come
here.
on.
Send that wonderful face breaking woman
Yeah.
down to
I'll pay for
NXT and forget that you sent her down to NXT.
Just leave her there with Rhino.
Yeah. You know what?
Oh, I forgot. Rhino's
You know what?
retired, by the way.
Let her go to Impact.
They're hired.
Yeah. We've seen how successful WWE failures, superstars are in TNA.
Gail Kim.
No offense to some of them. Not all of them were failures.
Yeah, I was gonna
per
say
se.
there's a lot of.
Mickey
but-
James.
You leave Mickey alone.
She went to.
I know
Impact.
she went to Impact. Anyway, so I would say this was match of the night. Do we want to talk about any of the details? There was a leg drop off a ladder from Becky straight onto Charlotte's stomach.
Oh my lord!
I don't think we really delved into it. We talked about the reaction because it was on the TV.
Ass to the ribs.
Ass to ribs.
Which I wouldn't mind, but when you think about the fact that she's coming off a ladder, it's like, okay, that's not so desirable after all.
So you're just saying you want Becky to sit on you.
Yeah.
All right.
You're so blind about
So the second Becky hit Charlotte, I went, "Oh God!" And I felt like Charlotte was done for the match. I thought the match.
I thought she wouldn't be able
out.
to continue.
I thought after that, that's not when I said it, but I thought the two words, holy shit.
And she was holding her ribs there for a minute too.
Well, when you scream, oh fuck, I think you're going to be hanging on to some body parts for a while.
So I was concerned Charlotte was going to be out, especially because then you had Becky and Asuka just fighting at the top of the ladder for a couple minutes to buy time to figure out, is she okay, can she go? And then she came in and she clocked the shit out of them with the kendo stick.
Okay.
Good athletic match, good storytelling. I really like it.
Here's my thing, other than the shit ending, for the bigger picture. The kendo stick. My God, when Charlotte used it, when Asuka used it, that is when EC dub. Oh my God, the innovation of violence in that match.
Well, I got a question here, and Dan, if you could reiterate it. Why was nothing breaking in this match?
Why wouldn't anything break?
Because the table, the edge of it just barely broke. The barricade
It broke on the second landing.
Not the
Becky
first
hit
landing.
Charlotte, hit the edge of the table, and that's when it
Oh
broke.
my
It was
god.
pretty bad.
So
The
it took two
barricade didn't
impacts.
break.
Which one?
The announce table
On
wouldn't break.
the spear. I didn't have a problem with the barricade not going all the way because it made it. I don't know if I watched this in a video, but if I did, I agree with it. It gave us an extra degree of realism to it because then it's like maybe it wasn't supposed to happen, maybe it wasn't
supposed to happen.
gimmicked. I'm sure it was. They aren't as heavy as Braun Strowman, so they
You
don't have as
know-
much momentum coming into it.
If you think about it, the only thing that did break in this match was Charlotte's ribs.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
On a dark note, I gave this match, even with the shitty ending, a B.
Shitty ending, but
I'm not saying. I'm not saying anymore.
Littering and
bigger
littering
picture.
and
Littering and.
smoking the reefer. I liked the match. I'm content with the way that it ended. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at bigger picture while trying to contain myself. Do we want to dip into Raw for a minute?
Well, what's the final grade of the pay-per-view for you guys? I gave it a D.
Because this followed what Dan said a while back. First half was really good, but second half was like
I'll give it a B.
Wow, that's being.
B minus,
You guys are
borderline C.
Being you guys are being very generous.
You know what? You're right. I'll give it a B minus.
I'm B minus, borderline C.
I'm still
Yeah, if
giving
you
it
if
a
you
D.
average it out, it's not as good.
It's a D to me. I'm sorry.
However-
I'm not sold.
So you're giving them the D?
I'm giving them the D. All right.
Some of that vitamin D.
Hey.
Now, would you say it's a soft D or a hard D? that
Oh,
you're
that's a
gonna
hard
give 'em?
D.
Is it a thick D or a thin D?
I think it's gonna be thick.
Jesus Christ.
All right, talking about Raw.
Was it Raw or SmackDown?
Wherever the metaphor is gone, we're sorry, but the shakeup.
You should cut that in half.
The shakeup. Was it necessary? Yes. I think that's the first time anyone has ever cheered for Stephanie. Just because she played a little face favorite with the
Without
crowd.
turning it 2 minutes later.
Without slapping anybody either. My God. I didn't think she could last that long.
Get it?
Maybe we should ask Triple H.
Maybe
Hey-o.
we should have.
I don't know where this is going. I don't know for sure.
Did you see Raw highlights or Raw
Yeah.
itself? Was it the first time you were actually tuned into Raw? Because it was for me, as far as highlights went.
Well, I went to the YouTube comment section, and as usual, people are bitching, and I'm like, okay, it's official. No matter what WWE does, you guys are find a reason to bitch anyway. But
Well, I think the problem is that I wouldn't even say it's a problem. I think the reason that people are still whining is because it didn't really do anything yet, but it's not going to be a overnight fix.
Yeah.
It's a slow momentum. You have to build these things.
And so I don't know where this is going exactly. It's, I guess, supposed to be sort of like, you guys, we're going to listen to you guys for real this time. You guys are going to dictate what happens, sort of.
Why does Vince look like he hasn't slept in years?
Because he's fucking
yeah,
98 years old.
Vince is like Jesus. You see those bubbles
How
on the
old
bottom
is
of
he
his head?
actually? 70 what?
Double check. I'm gonna check A1. Vince.
He is
He lives in a retirement community now.
73 years old.
73?
Yep.
So you got a 73-year-old man.
Still trying to run things.
Presumably flying. I'm
And,
assuming he
and
flies.
you notice
all
how
over
he
the
wasn't
country.
talking as much as the other ones.
Yeah. But he's on the same kind of schedule. He doesn't have to drive everywhere, but he's on the same schedule as everybody else, so he's probably not home very often.
Yeah.
And it's because he's got a fear of relinquishing control, which is well established. He's afraid of giving it to anybody else, and so you have this old man who is
73 years old.
73 years old, running around the country like a bunch of 30-year-olds, and he's gonna look tired. I'm glad that they're saying they're going to do this. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah.
Hopefully we actually see some good stuff come from it, but
Raw finally started changing their ship, even though it was a slow change. I hope the ball keeps rolling this way.
And we built it Becky and Ronda at WrestleMania, and Becky makes that bitch tap out by hyperextending her arm.
And then the 4 horsewomen.
There we go again.
You can build it all on the same night.
You could.
I've said it before. Ending it with 4 versus 4 at the very end of the show, just staring across
Staring
from one
at it.
another, would be your
And we
ending.
finally get to see Becky.
That's how you do it.
And
You have
Charlotte.
Becky go over Ronda. You have the 4 horsewomen jump her, and that's where the other 3 come in.
Yep.
And
Even though
you can
Sasha
kind
doesn't belong, I guess.
you can kind of run it like the invasion angle, where you just kind
But
of
the
shuffle
better
them for a
version.
few months. A mini invasion.
And I was telling Dan this. I hope that Becky does not overuse the man, because if you think about it, it's like I think I caught it like 2 times in the match where she's like, "That's right, I'm the man,"
Yeah, I kind of got annoyed with their shit talking in the match.
and it becomes like the
Well, we've
cu-
established you don't like talking during matches, so you want them.
No,
to
but
focus on the story.
like to someone who has proven they are, it's like, you don't gotta oversell me anymore.
Yeah.
No, I believe you're the man.
Because for Sasha, it's like the whole boss thing. It's become her platform. She comes out, Michael Cole's, it's boss time, and she's kind of the problem.
It's the ball.
You know why I'm gonna beat you this Sunday? Do you know why I'm better than you?
Oh,
Do
here
you
we
know
go.
why I am the best athlete that the world has ever seen?
Do you know
Because
why Snoop Dogg doesn't recognize you anymore as
Dan.
a family member?
Why do you think the boss is the answer to everything?
So I'm like, Becky, let's watch it, because I don't want you saying because I'm the man.
Well, right
'Cause I'm the
now
man.
she does. She probably doesn't feel like that's her platform right now. She's just on revenge mode right now. At least I think she is.
Well,
Yeah, here's hoping that she focuses in a little bit
Yeah.
I
more.
think she will. I think she will.
We'll find out tonight.
so there you go, guys. We gave a review of TLC and glossed over Raw. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all next time.